We are officially live broadcasting right now.
Okay.
So, Carol, when you are, oh, so fun. And after Shannon's going to say, okay, Carol, introduce yourself. Just do a brief introductory on where you're from because we like to hear all the time zones. Then you go over your little idea share, and then you throw it to Teresa and say, Teresa, introduce yourself, and then she can say her first and last name, and then we'll go from there. I'll probably just grab it from you, Teresa. We based on what we feel, it'll be so fun. And we have 7 people on so far. Hooray! Feel free to add a little chat amongst yourselves, and we will get the questions going to and fro. I just learned how to go back and forth from the chat to the control room.
Oh, we
Oh,
can't see
lucky
the
you.
questions.
Oh, no, there's the
If
control
you
room.
Yeah, so I just figured out how to do, I can't do both at the same time. I can either chat or control room. So I stay most of the time on control room, so when you guys are talking, it's not going to be somebody squishing paper and then you pop up big. Oh, this is so great. All right, let's get this bad boy started. This is going to be so fun. We have some amazing, amazing people on tonight to share their wisdom all about ideas. And you know what? This is not hard. How do you get business? How do you get ideas and sell more or share you more? How do you get ideas to have parties or get them booked? How do you get ideas to make samples? How do you go about getting ideas somehow, some way to sponsor people or to do a fundraiser? So instead of starting from scratch, tonight is all about getting ideas because you're being resourceful. And just like the TED Talk, if you haven't watched it, you're going to want to watch it again and again and again because it is really research-based, proven research on the 8 characters of what makes people successful. So it's not like he's made all of this up. But when he talks about ideas, he talks about the people that are successful, they get their ideas because they're unbelievable listeners, and a lot easier said than done. They also observe, so they check out those around them who appear to be successful, and they inquire of them, or they ask them questions, or they sit in the very front row all the time of any training opportunities because they want to observe and get into the thick and nuclei of where success is happening or is about to happen. Successful people are super curious because they want to know. They're always inquiring. And you know, if you're curious, you're not afraid to fail. It's so amazing how that happens. You also ask questions because you're curious. You ask questions, and because you're curious and ask questions, you're going to be successful. Because you're not going to be successful if all you do is just sit back as a wallflower and think everyone's going to come to you. They're going to join your team because you're fun, or they're going to want to host a party with you because you're their neighbor. None of that is a given. It's all about and how you get your ideas to make yourself resourceful. You are a problem solver. In your upline, you don't quit the moment something runs into a challenge for you. You persevere through that. You're constantly making connections. Hello, it's a network marketing business. How do you get your ideas to make these connections? Successful people are networking. So tonight we're going to figure out and find out and hear about several different ways that some of our fellow consultant group members our climbing gym members, have made success happen somehow. And keep in mind, your definition of success is going to be very different as someone else's. So just because it's something that has worked for them may not work for you, or it may not fit you. The key is to take a little bit from everybody, network, be curious, and get these ideas, and then elaborate on those ideas, and then share the ideas. Because pretty soon you're going to find that you are wanting to be surrounded by success. You will be a success sponge. Successful people are all about inquiring, asking, learning, failing, trial, error, and networking by taking advantage of any and all opportunities that you get to grow. We get ideas from going to convention. Did you know that? We get ideas from going to our world tours. You get ideas when you go to your team trainings. You get ideas by doing webinars and blogs, and oh my golly. So with that, let's start with one of our superstar directors from North Carolina. Shannon, what do you think about when you have when you talk about success and ideas? What are some things that come to mind for you to share with us?
Well, there are about 3 different parts I wanted to share. First of all, when I started in 2009, you guys who are new, you have it made. Danette can tell you. We used to have these really big testers, and we didn't have this Facebook stuff. We could not get together and have all these ideas and do all this social media. So I thought that I was a genius because I started scraping out the testers into little bitty containers and found out that so many people wanted to smell them that I had to keep replicating them. So I'd even go and get my daughter out of school early to help me make these testers because it was so popular with everybody wanting to smell them. And I thought I was the only one in the world who did this. But now I know that everybody was doing it. And so Scentsy came up with this whole, mini tester idea. So I think they saw all the consultants doing it, and so they just went with it. But I wanted to let you guys know that ideas, they're not hard to come from. Everybody has that inside of them. And whenever I was watching Richard St. John, he talked about different things about being creative, about problem solving, and about listening. And so I decided to talk about 3 different areas in my business where I use ideas all the time. And one of the things, and I can't see who's in here and who's not, so I'm sure they'll start commenting, is we came up with a thing called Bring a Tip, Share a Tip Night once a month, where everyone who's local or they can drive to where we are, we have everyone bring a tip for that month. So if we were in February, we would have everyone look up things like on Pinterest or just be creative, go out of the box, and bring things that they would do for hostess gifts or things that they would do to make samples to be able to pamper their customers or their hostesses. And the whole idea behind this is you've heard about the recipe share. But I thought it would be really cool for everybody to bring back a tip and to bring it to the table, and then everybody would leave with all these tips. And we've been doing it for about 5 months now, and it has become huge. And we've had so much fun with it. And what's neat is that we're able to be creative because it's challenging them to be creative and think outside the box. Some of the people that are really new, they have some of the most amazing ideas that I've ever heard. The problem solving, we're able to do that because we are actually asking them, okay, what are good ways to get samples out to everyone? The problem is that we have to get this out there more. So what can we do? And so they'll be innovative and they'll come up with all these different ideas. And then, of course, listening, because I listen to the downline, and that's something that is very important, I think, is that everyone has a voice in this. Everyone has something to bring to the table. They don't want to just hear me all the time and talking about the ideas that I have. I get there, and I am just overjoyed with what they have to bring to the table. And, that's just our local thing that we'll do, but we do webinars, and we'll take the notes from this and put it online and share with everyone and get everybody to give tips, but it's something that's really helped us. And with my hostesses, we're creative with gifts, different gifts that I give them. I listen to them to see what do they need. If they say, I really want to try that counter clean, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show up with a little organza bag full of like little samples of counter clean and hand soap and dish soap and all kinds of little house things for them as their hostess gift. Because now they're able to try it. But I had to listen first to see, what is it exactly that they would like from me. And then, I get to listen and problem solve with what gap do I need to fill with them with Scentsy. How could Scentsy bless their life? And then I'm able to listen and kind of problem solve with that part with my hostesses. And then with my customers, I have these amazing referral programs I have for them, so I'm always awarding them, but I get very creative every month because I have the Scent of the Month Club. I have different samples we're doing. The other night, I always tell someone to be accountable with someone. Find a buddy, someone that you can just bounce ideas off of. And I have one named Annette, who's amazing. She's one of my directors. I have so many amazing directors and amazing team and groups. I have to shout out to everybody. But she came up with these great laundry bags. And it's a Borrow laundry bag. And it's a little lunch box that we just put, some vinyl on. And we're going to come up with some really cute laundry samples that they gave us at World Tour. And also we've made our own. And at our next Bring the Tip thing, we're going to actually have sample making. So I'll be giving these to customers and getting their feedback. But that's the other thing I wanted to talk about is feedback. Everyone loves to give their opinion. Everyone loves to give their 2 cents. So I always ask everyone for feedback, and I never have a problem placing a basket or getting samples out because I'll ask them, you know, what's your favorite scent? They say pineapple sorbet. I'll say, wow, we just came out with like 24 amazing scents or whatever it is. I would love your feedback to see which one reminds you of the pineapple sorbet. That way I'll know when the next person asks me, you know, what would remind them of that. So these are just some great ideas that I feel like my team, my group, everybody's come together and we've all kind of collaborated and come up with this amazing system that really works for us. And now I'm going to send it off to Carol.
Good evening, everyone. This is Carol Siegfried in Berwick, Pennsylvania. I hope you're all well tonight. That was great. She's got a lot of good tips there. I wanted to talk a little bit about spreading the things that she just talked about and enhancing on that. So what we're going to talk about is your ideas that you're going to use on your social media. And I always tell people the first thing that I am a social butterfly. So maybe you're not out of your cocoon, but how does a butterfly get out? It takes a little struggle. You have to find your way out, find what you're looking for. Don't be afraid to spread your wings and light on people. The people like butterflies, so one flap of your wing and you can cause an effect that will affect others. So getting your ideas, where are you going to get them from? You're going to see what's effective, what can be used to affect others. So you're going to go to Facebook. Everyone's sitting on Facebook. I mean, my husband said I'm a mobile wife. He thinks I never get off. But I do a lot of my business through Facebook. So I'm looking to what people are talking about. I'm looking at their situations. I'm looking about what they're talking about, where they're going to take their kids to the games, or they're cleaning and they're not having any success, or they're just griping and complaining. And so, oh, I just love that. I just have to then go in and I might scroll through someone's pages on our sites. We have lots of people on sites that are posting. Don't be afraid. If they're there, use the post. That's what they're for. I get messages all the time. Can I use that? Can I use your wording? I had a business, so I'm used to advertising. I'm used to people. I create a lot of my own. But if you can't, it's there to, so to speak, borrow. So borrow it. Put it in your words or just change it. If you want to put it in your own words, or you can take and make third party. Just say you have a friend. It might be my post that you saw. Well, I'm your friend. We're Scentsy family. So use that. So you're going to be looking for the wording, copying and pasting, and then you're going to have that on there. You're going to see what they respond to that post. When they respond, I go in and I will personal message them and talk to them. Some I'll just do like I did tonight. I had a hostess, and I right away was out with my samples today. Took her the country plum. She's having a party going on. She was saying how it was warming. I went right in right away and said, oh, Jen's warming. We're not burning. She's warming her new country plum. So if you'd like one, comment, please. Once they comment, if they don't or whatever they're doing, I will go in anyhow and still message them. I'll thank them for their comment. I'll ask them for different things. But especially like I posted the other night, my new diffuser on the dark blue, the Reflect. I have been in the hospital, so I mentioned about relaxing. I'm not selling. I'm sharing. So those people are like, oh, like, sorry you're in the hospital. Message them back. Thank you for noticing. I just love that blue diffuser. I'm relaxing with that. Also, we have trainings. On our trainings, we come in, my team comes in. Of course, they always want me to brainstorm. No, it's a team. That's why the word is team. We brainstorm together. You go together and you work on that. A lot of them are distant, so don't be afraid to ask. You can brainstorm also on Facebook. We have all kind of sites. We have Team Talk. We have Director's Page. You have your own group. Go on there. Use it. It's there to be used. We have so much that we can do. So with all this, it's the wording that you're using, it's collecting what the people are saying, and then come out of your cocoon. Be that butterfly, spread those wings, and you will be surprised what one flap will do. It will affect and be effective. There's two different words there, affect and effect. Which one are you going to do, or are you going to do both? And social media will help you. But like I said, you have to listen, read between the lines, put yourself in their position, and see what's going on. So if you want to fly, flap those wings and be that butterfly. And I'm going to pass that on to Teresa.
Hello, everyone, and thanks, Carol. That was great information, and I have to say I love listening to the thing about social media. I'm going to talk about networking and how and networking definitely is used a lot in social with the social media and the Facebook and everything like that. I'm going to bring another thing that we have probably stayed away from, but our customers have not, and that's snail mail. This year I decided I was going to ramp up my business, and I was going to reach out to my customers every month. I was going to send a postcard, I was going to send them a sample and everything, and go through all of my contacts that I had and that of people that have ordered in the last 6 months and send it to them. And you can't send that over social media or anything like that, but how many times do you come home, do you like getting something in the mail, especially something that smells awesome, and come home and you've got something nice in the mail and it's not a bill? So I started going away from Facebook and emailing as much. I still use them, but I do sit down, and the middle of the month I do sit down and get out my snail mail and do my snail mail days and send those to friends and customers. With that, I offer a referral program where if they refer customers to me, then they get they get samples and stuff to go along with it, along with a discount on whatever we want. Or like Shannon had talked in hers with, listening is very important in listening to what you want, so you can, if they want to try out the laundry soap or the washer whiffs or something, you're kind of listening and they want to try it, but they don't want to try the whole big thing because they don't know if their family would like it, then you can throw that in there too as part of my referral program. I also work with a lot of realtors and just kind of networking with them, and as you know, put together baskets for them for their homeowner. Because a lot of times when they have a homeowner that's buying from them, they usually give them a welcome home gift. So why not put together a basket, which then you can go to some of their meetings and do a presentation and network with all of the realtors. You can, the other thing that networking I think is good with is also with your team and being ideas with each other. That's where I believe conference calls, video conference calls like this and training, and also a Facebook team page is great for that. And we share on how do you make the easiest samples? What do you do to make them and get them in the mail and not have them be all over the place? So that is that's what I do with our network and how I share everything on networking. And so mainly I listen, I observe, and I and do the networking. So I'm going to pass it off back to Shannon tonight. I thank you.
Yay, good job. Actually, I'm going to intercept just for fun because I love notes. So one thing when we were all talking about, as the push group climbing coaches, we were talking about this week's topic. It really is so basic, we could make it hard. But bottom line is we are all about sharing. This industry is about sharing. This industry is about how well we network, how often we network, and the different tools we gain. Absolutely, social media is powerful. But the only way you're going to gain information and insight is for you to be a reader. And you've heard it time and time and time again. Readers are leaders. Did you know that by reading on Facebook, that's reading? Social media posts, that's reading. That's resourceful. By you listening to a blog versus you physically reading, that's still reading. You could do audiobooks. That's still reading. Ken and I do audios. We're in Arizona right now, and it's about a 15-hour drive. We don't do it all in one day, but we listen to audiobooks all the way over, and then whoever's not driving is the note taker, and we mostly do self-help books to help us with our business and motivation, etc. So that's one option for you to keep in mind, that I've heard it time and time, oh, I'm not much of a reader. Well, you know what? You really are more of a reader than you think, because how else do we get our ideas from the different avenues of them popping up in front of our everyday lives? But I wanted to highlight a little bit Shannon's tip ideas. It was fun to hear you talk about samples. They are so powerful. And just like you said, we never had any of the sample stuff that's there now, but because so many people started sharing them and started offering them, and the key, I think, that I love hearing is how often you are asking your customers' opinions. You know, because our customers are our future hosts who are our future team members. It's invaluable for you to always say, well, what did you think? Or let me try to find this and we can see if something's similar. You know, it's all about inviting them into the conversation. It's not about selling them. And we've heard it time and time again. You are not a bother. You're a blessing. So how can you make this product or this opportunity a blessing for them? And one thing that it made me think of when we're talking about social media, and I'm Carol, I see posting all the time on social media. If you haven't had a chance to listen to the video trainings from World Tour, they're on the training center. Do you guys know what I'm talking about when they had those? They had the 3 different people who are social media business runners. I mean, 90% of their business, I would say, is ran by social media. Do you guys know what I'm talking about from World Tour?
Yes.
Great ideas, examples of what? Getting ideas. See, we're getting ideas all the time. And so when we try to come up with this one successful topic, it sounds really basic to many, but you would be surprised at how often brand new team members, I've heard it time and time, I heard it this week, in fact, they really don't know where to go. They don't know where to start. So we got to help guide them through however the means are. One of the things that I hear all the time is, oh, I don't want to start sponsoring yet because I'm just not ready. Have you heard that? Oh, I don't want to sponsor anyone because I'm not sure I'm going to be able to answer their questions. I'm not sure. How many of you who are mothers, how many of you knew it all? You were 100% ready to be a mama. You had everything down packed. There was nothing you couldn't handle. None of us. There's just no way. But did that keep you from having the baby? No. In fact, you were even more excited when the baby came. Aren't we, when we are baby or new consultants, the most fired up and excited? That's when we really want to share the family opportunity. That's when we want to show off our new baby because it's our opportunity. And it is contagious, just like ideas. It's contagious when you're energetic. It's contagious when you're new. You see it all the time, that passion posts that we get from our new team members. Oh my God, it's invigorating. It's so much easier to give birth than it is to resurrect the dead. Meaning, we're not going to be able to motivate all those who aren't motivated, but you know what? It's not our fault. It's not our business, it's their business. We're business partners. We're not anybody's bosses, but by golly, we are in it together for us all to share ideas. So this week, knowing that we're all trying to be successful, and we've talked over and over again, this is about networking. So your COW, your challenge of the week, which again is going to be steel for no matter what your your Ascent Academy level challenges for 1 or 2 of the days, maybe 3, who knows. But I promise it's going to come up because it comes up every week. I've seen them. Your COW for this week is to have a sponsoring conversation and absolutely come out with the question, However you are comfortable in inviting someone to join your team, and the key is it's going to be an absolutely complete stranger. You have never talked to them before. You have never met this person before. So what are you going to do? How are you going to get this conversation going? Woo! Isn't it great? It's so scary. It's good that you're scared. That means you care. So guess what the climbing gym is going to be all about? Your push group climbers, climbing coaches all week, we're all going to be here to give you ideas. So even if it's what you feel is the most simple question, it's important. So ask. What do you say? What are you going to do? What are some ideas on how we approach complete strangers? Because I promise, if you get comfortable, or not if, when you get comfortable approaching complete strangers about this unbelievable gift you're about to give them with the opportunity of Scentsy, then everything else will flow into place to where this has absolutely every living, eating, breathing molecule of your body is your lifestyle of Scentsy. It will just happen. We've seen it time and time again. So do you guys have any other questions or thoughts while I go to the chat? Any of our climbing coaches want to add because something triggered your memory or your thought?
I'm good.
I think I have all of you guys' voices on.
Asking, I just constantly, you just have to ask.
Mm-hmm.
What's an example, Shannon, on how you would ask?
What, a customer?
Sure, no. How would you introduce yourself to a complete stranger and then go about asking?
First, I try and find common ground. I mean, just like today, I was somewhere, and I was like, God, you look familiar.
Wait. Repeat that. Find
common ground.
Common ground? What does that mean?
Well, her little boy had a jacket on with the school that my daughter used to go to. I was like, my daughter used to go to that school. And she's like, really? Well, who do you have for your teacher? And we just kind of started talking. And I was like, well, do you stay home or do you work outside the home? And she was like, I stay home. I have these kids. I said, well, I have 4 too. And she's like, well, what do you do? And then I'm like, oh, I'm glad you asked. You know, and I was like, I do Scentsy. Do you have a consultant? Like, no. Do you know what it is? No. Well, I want to give you some samples. Let me go to my car. So, yeah, it's really easy. And I asked her, you know, what's your favorite scent? And it doesn't have to be a Scentsy scent. And she was like, fruity. I was like, oh, girl, I've got some great samples for you. I was like, as a matter of fact, just go ahead and take all of these and pick out what you like. And if you share them with a couple of friends, you'll get some free stuff. So it worked out really good. I got a basket party I wasn't even expecting.
Well, and you know, there's so many things that just came to my mind. It's delicious. You were prepared. You had your scents with you, obviously. You were ready for this conversation. You talked with them, not at them. And did you guys notice that she had a complete conversation, and she's going to ask them about the business, but it didn't happen all right there in 35 seconds. No, she made a connection first by finding that common ground. Is what do you have in common? You should look at it like you're trying to find a new friend, not a new business partner, because then you put too much pressure on yourself. So what do you do? Yeah. So what do you do when you meet a complete stranger? You're not all, oh my gosh, I hope they join my business, blah, blah. Well, I wouldn't want to be your friend then. You don't mean it. You don't really want me. You just want my number, my recruit number. But when you find the common ground and you get the natural conversation, the other thing that stood out from what you were saying, Shannon, is how many questions you ask them. Oh, have you tried this? Oh, did you like it? What's your flavor? You know, I mean, so what if you're asking 25 questions? It's way better for you to ask 25 questions than to state 25 facts, because the questions are what get them visualizing the story, and then look what happened. They're going to ask you about it. And isn't that one of those moments where they say, what do you do? You just want to go, thank you for asking! No, because it's part of your lifestyle, so you act the same as you do with a yes as you do with a no, right? So yeah, very, very good example. Anyone else want to share a thought that came to mind on how you would approach a complete stranger? And keep in mind, there's power in that follow-up with Shannon. Shannon, let's say, while Teresa and Carol, while you think about it, what would a follow-up be after you've given her the opportunity to not just try a few flavors to see if she can match the scent that she likes, but you've made a basket party out of it because you said, well, sell a little bit and you'll get something free. I'd love to take care of you, however. Then what's your next follow-up conversation, and what form is it? You know what I mean? What form?
She's already taken the basket.
Say that again?
Did I already give her the basket or no?
Yeah, from our first conversation, I think you said, oh, and then you turned it into a basket party, right?
Right. Okay, so I'm following up with her at her house, right?
Is that what you do?
Yes. I usually will go ahead and get a time together and say, you take these for a couple of days, and then I'll follow up with you in about 3 days. And then when I call her, I'm like, what sentence did you like? You know, did anything remind you of anything in particular? And then I'll start saying, you know, we also have the Scentsy Clean. We have the, you know, laundry. I've got some samples of that I could drop off to you. So I want to get her exposed to everything I possibly can before I try and capture her and ask her about the opportunity. And I want her to fall in love with it first. And then whenever she's like, you know, I showed my sister and she absolutely loves it, I'm like, great. You know, if you get some orders up, then that's going to be a party and you'll get some free stuff. And I was like, but you know, you can even get paid on it yourself if you want to, you know, get it for the discount. And then I'll say, you know, you've already liked the clean stuff, you like the laundry stuff, you love the diffuser and the oils and the wax. Girl, that's almost a $200 order right there you could put in one time out of 3 months. I mean, it just kind of, you just follow it wherever it goes. Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it really feels natural. Carol, what would you add? Let me make sure we can hear her.
I get to do things. I'm free. And it's not overnight, but I had 3 girls finally this week that I worked with and talked to that just signed on. And they were like, yeah, I want that dream. I want to be doing that. So you have to look at what they're looking for, what their dream is. But I'll go out, like she said, and I'll be in the store and I'll be talking to people, or I pull out my Scentsy card and I'm paying, and I go, oh, this card. I just love this purple card. And they're like, what purple card? This purple card. It says Scentsy. Do you know what it is? And if they don't, then I go in. Or they'll say, do you want money back? Oh, no, I don't want any cash back. I like when Scentsy puts my cash in. So I'm always looking to extend, like Shannon said, but you cannot. I used to throw up on people. You can't do that. You have to have it, like she said, even keel. Yes, be excited. Have a smile on your face. Your face is everything. Look at them when you're talking to them. Look them in the eye. Be excited. But like I said, don't throw up all over them. They can see the excitement. They can read your body language. They tell me when I come in, it's like Christmas has walked in the door. And that's what you want. You want them to be excited. And then after, listen to them, keep listening, keep building that friendship. And then tell them they're using so much. Boy, I hate to see you, not getting paid on this. And they're like, not getting paid? What do you mean? Well, you've seen my post. I'm traveling. I travel the world. I'm living the dream. What are you going to do? You going to sit by or you're going to join me? And this month for $49, 3 of them. That's why I was a little late. I was helping one on the line there. But yeah, you can just go back and forth with them and be their friend, and then get their friends excited. Somebody in that group's going to want to take over some of that business and get a piece of that pie.
Yeah, and kind of what you and Shannon are saying is so great, is that you really do want them to fall in love with the product, and in the meantime, what happens if you're being real and sincere and about them, they're going to fall in love with you, and that's the whole key. And then it no longer becomes a person or a team member or a host or a consultant. People aren't somebody that people steal. You don't steal a customer, you don't steal a hostess, and that consultant was not stolen by another consultant. That means that somehow, some way, they just didn't love you because there wasn't that connection. And you know, of all the emotions that we have, sometimes it really is not you. You all know we can't help chemistry sometimes. Teresa, would you like to add anything to that?
I think between Carol and Shannon, they pretty much have, closed the door. Well, they've opened the door up quite a bit. I happen to have a consultant on my team that actually had surgery today, and she just texted me and told me she couldn't be on the call tonight because she's in the middle of signing one of the nurses up at the hospital. And I'm like, girl, you should be resting. And she says, I'm selling Scentsy. And so, yeah, but I agree with everything Carol and Shannon and you are saying. It definitely is there.
Well, and how great is that when you love it so much that even when you're in the hospital, it's just something you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's awesome. Okay, so the cow is to get with a complete stranger this week and invite them somehow, some way. That doesn't mean so we meet them Tuesday, tomorrow. Then you get there, you doing your conversation with a follow-up in 2 to 3 days. That's kind of the rule in the industry, about 2 days, 3 days max on a follow-up, however you want to do it. But what we really want to see your posts on your cows about is your conversations, your comfort, the emotional feel, so we can all walk each other through it so you can get better at it. And please don't think you have to know it all. You just have to know your heart so you can share your heart. So next week we have a whole new group of push groupers, another fun group of push groupers. So thank you, climbing coaches, for sharing all your wisdom. And we can't wait to see what ideas we can all give and get. And I'm loving seeing those Ascent Academy posts because they're great. Don't you think they're great little memory triggers? Those of us who have been doing it a while, when I see someone, I'll go, oh my gosh, I totally forgot about that. Oh my gosh, oh yeah, what a great idea. And some of them are very specific. I'm thinking, dang, Ascent Academy is happening. So, oh, did I tell you that the climbers, did we talk about that the climbers have this really super special social that you will get to attend when you finish the climb at our Cincy family reunion? Yeah, kind of a big deal. Yes. All right then. Well, you guys keep climbing, keep posting, just keep holding on those reins. This is your business and your journey, and we're all belaying with you and cheering you on, and we're rooting for you all the way. So we can't wait to hear you next Monday and look at all your posts. Make it a fantabulous week. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.